Hello, hello, what is going on, YouTube friends? Phoenix61 here. More Skull and Bones. Today we are doing the new sea monster fight and build, and this is kind of going to be all about the ultimate sea monster fighter build, right? So the new one now is Lestari, and as you can see here, we have eliminated him fairly easily solo, right? We will show more of that fight and how to specialize and build your, we'll get there, right? But basically we are using the Snow, right? So this is the tank variant of ship, and it's the medium size, right? But the perks here are the brace strengths, and these are kind of where it's at for fighting the sea monsters. They tend, like all of them, there is the Zemarabu from last season, right? And then there's the sea monster that's always available from the Sea People Huntmaster, right? So we'll go into the build a little bit deeper here and show you what each piece is. But basically for weapons, I'm using the Dardanelles guns from last season all the way around. So if you don't have these, I have seen some Season 1 stuff drop from World Events. You can also gamble with the Legacy Crate at the Bartender, but highly recommend these. What you're going for basically is the explosive element, right? So we've got these all the way around. So you could do, like I think Moon's Mag 3, like you could build those from the from the armor, the blacksmith, whatever, right? And then Inferno Maw, this is actually really helpful now. So this is the new, a new weapon variant from this current season, from season 2. If you don't have the Inferno Maw yet, you could use the regular standard ones, the regular mine spring loaders. That'd be fine too. Just keep in mind, you want to try and keep your ship, I mean, ideally at level 12 or above. So if you're equipping some of these lower level gear score items, you might drop below 12. And then armor, this is a new piece to buy from the Bartender for Sovereigns. The perk is what we're going for here. Holding brace charges up sonic attack, dealing up to 6,000 damage to surrounding hostiles. This is ideal for dealing with sea monsters of all variants. All of their attacks are basically melee, right? They come and punch you or smack you with their tail or whatever it is. So you're holding brace anyway, and then once they hit you, you release, and then you do a good chunk of damage, right? I did have Wrathful Ward on my build for previous monster hunting videos, but this is kind of a step up in my opinion. Water Tank, this just helps out with bracing because that's really your best move when you're fighting the sea monsters, right? So I would say that's probably almost a must, but I mean, there's wiggle room here, right? Maintenance Forwards, this is just nice to have. If you do get killed during the fight, you can come back and get a little bit of that severe damage healed. Bombard Works, this is helping out with the explosive effect, and then Double Planked Hull just to give us a little bit more hull strength, right? So that's the way I've done it. I think you could definitely mix this up a little bit. This is just how I did it. It's kind of sort of my opinion, I guess, right? But yeah, so that's how we did the Snow. I skipped ahead to when we got partway through the fight just so that the video wasn't very long, but nobody came to help me during this fight, so we'll show it off. But the spring loader here is, you can kind of set that up for, we did quite a bit of damage to him there. And then we're shooting the Dardanelles guns, right? So they all fire at once. These are bombards that all fire at once, and they have a, explosive 3, right? So that's kind of what we're going for. I did try, and then you're just launching those spring loaders kind of wherever you suspect him to come through, right? Because he always approaches you, does a melee attack, and yeah. So you just kind of line him up, try and make a little bit, he gets kind of predictable, right? So just, try and put those within his path, or just between you and him, and he's eventually going to hit him, right? So but yeah, so you can see me just throwing him out there just to have him out there. With this with the Inferno Maw, you can have 2 out at a time, right? So I just constantly am doing that whenever that gets reloaded. I did try using the new torpedoes. There is the new homing torpedoes. I don't recommend, like, they do work, you can do damage with them, but it just kind of, it's not the greatest. And also, he moves really fast. He moves about as fast as those torpedoes go, if not faster. So you really do have to aim quite well, and yeah, it's still tough to get them even with those homing ones. And then fire bombards work okay, right? But I think Moon's Mag 3s worked a little bit better than fire bombards, right? So I would go that route if you really can't, if you really don't find any Dardanelles guns, right? I think the explosive is kind of what you're going for here. And then yeah, the mine spring loaders definitely was like super helpful, right? So, but yeah, my thoughts and opinions as always. If you have a, you know, if you find something that works better, drop it in the comments and I'll give it a try. I think with the last season's unique sea monster, the Zamharabu, right? I'm probably saying that wrong. But I was doing like a piercing build, like cannons and using the you know, the spear weapons or whatever they're called on the front, right? And though, like, it worked, like you did damage, but then somebody left me a comment and said use Dardanelle's guns, and it was very obvious that they were better, right? So that's what we're doing going forward. But yeah, the key here is using the snow, just because you need that extra brace strength. We're hitting him enough here that he actually doesn't get a lot of attacks off on us, so it is a situation where if you damage the boss or, you know, the sea monster enough, he kind of has like a stagger effect, right? And then he doesn't attack you. But I think he does. I think he does get a few whacks at us here at some point coming up, right? And so we'll kind of show. When I originally was fighting sea monsters, I was using my Sambook, right, in the very beginning of the game, and you know, you get hit by them and you take quite a bit of damage, right? And so this just works out way better. So here we are bracing, and then when we release the brace, we do that shockwave. I was pretty consistently getting, I didn't see it pop up there, but I was pretty consistently getting 3,000 damage against him with the shockwave from the armor piece, right, for doing the brace. So highly recommend that. And every little bit helps, right? Or it just makes it go faster. As you can see, we're not really struggling too much here. And then I'm a huge advocate of the what are they, the restoration kits, right? So not your repair kits, but I also keep restoration kits on me as well, because this one in particular does, when he hits you, he knocks out your sails. So if we'll see it happen here, yeah, and then we can use, I had already used it last time we got hit, so it was on cooldown. But yeah, so he'll put you, and you'll be stuck here, kind of vulnerable for a little bit while you're waiting. So yeah, I use the restoration kits. That gets you going a little bit quicker, right? And those are good for the other sea monsters too, because they typically would trigger flooding on you, and then you'd be getting severe damage from being flooded, right? So highly recommend slotting in you know, the restoration kits along with your regular repair kits to kind of double up. Yeah, you can see him going through the Inferno Maw up there, and that took a good chunk. And then we get good hits with our Dardanelles guns. Use the brace, right? And then I'm just, yeah, I'm plopping this, yeah. So like what originally made me think of try and use torpedoes is because the mine layers and spring loaders, like the Inferno Maw, was just, those were working so well. So like, I wonder if torpedoes would do it, but you can't, you know, and same with the fire bombards. You can't light them on fire. I don't think you can flood them. So I think that's why the explosive weapons seem to work the best against the sea monsters, right? So we take him out. And we will go, and I'll show you where to pick up this mission as well if you're not familiar. But this is the original sea monster, the Karahabu, right? Like, so watch how quickly we take this guy down with this with this build now. It's just ridiculous. I think he doesn't even last a minute here. Yeah, so it pops up over here. We'll drop the Inferno Maw, and Dardanelle's guns got full salvo, got him about halfway. And then I think this guy staggers too, and so he's just kind of dead in the water, I guess. I don't know. And then yeah, the nice thing with Inferno Maw, it does seem to do damage. If you shoot the buoy, it lights everything on fire, and if they're in it, it does seem to work pretty good for that as well, right? So this is with the this is at the, you know, the Sea People Hunt Master in, what is it? Lestari, what's the name of this place right here? This guy. I know if there's, as sea monsters cycle in and out, Oh no, Lestari is the name of the sea monster. What is this place? Lenitra. Yeah, here we go. Yes, and so I know last season it was at the bounty board to pick it up, but here's where you pick up both of those missions, and the Vanishing is the one, the one with the giant shark. That's new to this season, right? 5,000 silver is not really much, but what you're going for is the drops. So they drop the, he's got a new meat that he drops that's unique to him, and then you get, of course, more monstrous teeth, right? So then you can buy, with those drops that you get from fighting sea monsters, there's stuff in here that you can buy, right? So, done for. This was the firework or flare, whatever you want to call it, that we used in the very beginning of the video. I thought it was pretty cool, so we did spend 50 of our monstrous teeth on that. Ouroboros, this is unique from last season, right? So it's nice that you can still buy it. But the Zemarabu scales, right? You can't get those at this moment at time of recording, but I'm going to guess that at some point that monster's going to come back and cycle in and out, right? I wasn't too impressed with the bracing, damage, healing, effect from this. It's not the greatest. Leviathan, this is the new armor for Season 2 that you can get, so you can see what you need here. So, Lestari skin, so you got to get the drops from him enough times to have 4 of those. Hydrodynamic, every knot of sailing speed increases armor by 1%, so it might be good for like a Brigantine build for where you're building for speed anyway, right? Like that'd probably be the best place to put it, but I'm not crazy excited about it. Like it's not, whatever. This is the one, the Great Springload, the Springgold, whatever, however you want to say this. This is what I was kind of hoping would be, like very damaging to sea monsters, right? Like I was hoping that would be the key, like using that weapon type, but it's really not. Dardanel's guns work way better. There's some unique recipes for food items in here. The stamina regen's a little bit better than what you get on stuff that you can find or craft without their specialized meat, right? It's this restores stamina regen by 50%. Most of the other food items, it's 30%, right? But I'm never like that desperate for that much, like I just don't know if that's that great, right? If it's that much better or not, right? So I haven't been farming the sea monsters in order to be able to craft those food items, right? I'm not like crazy excited about it, but alas, that is our video for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. We do have more Skull and Bones videos on the way, so make sure you're following the channel. I really do appreciate you guys. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want me to dig into. We did just release a, sort of a Season 2 strategy for farming 8s earlier this week, right? So go and check that out. But otherwise, yeah, see you next time. Thanks for watching. And yeah, let me know what you want to see.